Hello everyone, welcome to our English class, grade 9, unit 10, Wildlife in Danger. Today we have periods number 5 and 6 and the pages 32 and 33. So let's start with our lesson, and at the beginning we want to revise the new words. Here we have the new words. Listen to the new words.
Unit 10, Period 4, Activity 1. Cause, coast, destroy, disappear, discover, man-made, net, require, risk, species. Word formation. Act, action, die, death.
Okay, after we finish reading and listening to the new words, let us deal with our lesson. The first here, we have 3 pictures. What do you see in the pictures? Everyone, please tell me. You can find, look at this picture, you can find how much they catch the fish. Too much. Okay, so here also we have overfishing. Now here number 2, the picture, this is the picture before 30 years. Okay, and this picture now. What the difference between the 2 pictures? Yes, here we can find some fish and new plants and many things, coral, while in this picture we don't find any, and even the coral are finished. Look, walking bears and talk about the picture in the text, and on the next page, these are the pictures. Looking at the pictures on the next page, what changes do you see in these 2 pictures? This is before 30 years, while this is now, and you can find there is fish, and here we don't have even the coral. It's not here. Number 2, how long have these changes takes 30 years. And read the title of the passage, and from the 3 pictures, what seem to be the same? Yes, the answer is the stop overfishing and the stop polluting the ocean. Now let's come to our lesson. So listen and let's talk later.
Unit 10, Period 5, Activity 3.
Will the oceans live or die? Fish and many other kinds of life, like coral, are disappearing from the oceans fast. There are sad changes everywhere. Near the coast, they are often caused by pollution. Farther out, the cause is often overfishing. Fishing boats with huge nets catch and kill everything. We risk a terrible man-made disaster, the death of the oceans. But could our recent action to save the whales give us hope? 2 centuries ago, whales were already being caught for their oil and meat. By the 1940s, the job was being made easier by modern technology. From the 1950s to the 1980s, they were being caught everywhere, and numbers were collapsing. Whole species of whales were quickly being destroyed, and they were not being protected anywhere.
Okay, so this part of the passage, we need to think and find these new words underlined. So the title here we have, Will the Ocean Live or Die? On page 32, The first one, fish and many other kinds of life. Many, okay, give me another meaning. A lot of, like coral, are disappearing. What is the opposite of disappear? It's appear. From the oceans fast. And the opposite of fast, or the same meaning. Give me the same meaning. Fast, it means quickly, okay, and the opposite is slow. There are sad changes everywhere. Near the coast, they are often caused by pollution. Further out, the cause is often overfishing. What is the cause? Here, it means the reason is overfishing. Fishing boats with huge nets catch, kill everything. Now let's come to here. Save the whales, give us hope. What is the opposite of hope? Despair. 2 countries ago, okay, whales were, okay, 1940s, the job was being made easier. What is the opposite of easier? Harder. By modern. What is the opposite of modern? Ancient. What is the synonyms? The men say the same mean is new. Okay. Quickly. What is the opposite? Slowly. And here we have protected. Give me the same meaning. Saved. Now let's come to the second part of the passage. Here in this passage you will find some answers for some questions. Now listen and...
Finally, the world took action. In 1985, almost every country agreed to stop catching whales. This means that whale populations are slowly rising again. Could the same thing happen with fish and fishing? Sadly, almost certainly not. In Europe, people are required to catch smaller quantities now, but almost everywhere else they go on fishing freely, though it is getting harder. They cannot stop. Too many hungry people need to eat. Perhaps the only way to save the oceans is the one that our ancestors discovered long ago: farming. There are already many fish farms, and perhaps there will soon be many more along the world's coasts. People say the fish do not taste as good as wild fish. However, that is still much better than losing all the fish in the world.
Okay. At the beginning we have finally. What is the same meaning? Okay, it is this is the opposite first. Finally, the opposite is firstly, not same meaning. And rising, the opposite is falling. But what about sadly? Give me another meaning for sadly. It is unfortunately. Certainly, it means definitely. Okay, look at the color. Okay, to understand this, the green for unfortunately, and that's it. Ancestors for the opposite is grandchildren. Now let's come now to the next exercise. Exercise number 2. Read and mark the statements true, tick, or false, X. Number 1. Many forms of life in the oceans are in danger. Many forms of life in the oceans are in danger. It is correct. Number 2. Fishing is the only cause of the problem. Of course not only fishing. We have a lot of problem. We have pollution, of course. We have a lot of... Number 3. Only a few countries agreed to stop catching whales. Only few or No, we have a lot of countries. Number 4, whale numbers are now rising, but quantities of fish are still falling. Yes. And the last one, number 5, the writer thinks that fish farms will soon cover the land near the ocean, the coast. Yes, of course. Now, let's come to period number 6. We have exercise number 1. Read and complete the notes. 2 big causes of damage to sea life are. What are the causes of damaging the sea life? It is the pollution and overfishing. So pollution and overfishing. Number 2, or the second, whales were caught for their what? Why do we catch the whale? Because of their oil and their meat. Next, the worst time for whales was from 1950s to 1980s. In 1985, most governments agreed to stop catching whales. And fishermen in Europe now have to catch smaller quantities only, and fishermen outside Europe keep on still catching freely or fishing freely. To save the oceans, we could have what? More fish farms. Now let's come to exercise number 3. Read the passage again and do these tasks. Say what the underlined words refer to. On page 33, everyone, on line 2, they are often caused by pollution. They refer to what? They are often caused by pollution. What is they here refer to what? It is referred to the changes. The change is often caused by pollution. On line 2, we have further out. Further out, it means away from the coast. Okay. On 3, line 6, the job was being made easier. The job. What is the job? Refer to what? Catching whales. On number 4, fish. Number 4, line 12, sadly, almost certainly not. Almost certainly not. Not what? Refer to what? It is referred to fish and fishing cannot be held in the same way. Now the second part of exercise number 3, we have say what the underlined phrases mean. On line 3, the cause is often overfishing. What's the meaning of overfishing? It means catching fish more they need. It's taking too many fish from the sea. Okay, number 2, on line 4, we risk the death of the oceans. The death of the ocean, it means all the fish, other animals, and plants in the oceans will die. Number 3, on line 8, the numbers were collapsing. It means the number of fish or the number of fish were decreasing or becoming less. going down very fast. Number 4, line 10. Finally, the word took action. So it refers to the government, okay, did an agreement, did something to help the whales. Okay. After this exercise, we have exercise number 4, the last one. Walk in pairs and think and discuss. Human beings should stop eating other animals, species. Instead of fish, we should live on the crops that we grow and things that some animals produce, like eggs and milk. In this case, we can save a lot of species that are endangered, and we can use the thing that like eggs and milk that can come instead of the meat and the oil of the animals. Now, did you know big whales are probably the largest animals that have ever lived, including dinosaurs, and they can be as much as 34 meters long and can weigh 120 tons. That's all for today. Thanks for attending and have a nice day.